EvaraVoices welcomes you all for today's episode. Our guest today is Gunjan Pai from Mumbai. She's a founder of CopyLove and she's a copywriter, brand expert, and educator. She's a TEDx speaker. She champions purpose driven entrepreneurship by women and she does a lot for women leadership. Let us welcome our guest and hear about her from her own voice. Hi, Gunjan. I can't see your video and your unmute, please. Thank
Yes.
you.
Hi, Vanita.
Welcome on the show. Please introduce yourself. I've already done the introduction, but we'd like to know more from you. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
absolutely, Vanita. A pleasure to be here. So, hi, everyone. My name is Gunjan. I am both a brand expert and educator, as well as the founder of CopyLove, which is a boutique brand strategy and copywriting company based in Mumbai, India, but also working globally for with clients in India and all over the world. As I said, I'm also personally a branding expert and educator. I specialize in guiding entrepreneurial communities and accelerators in the space of branding and marketing. And I also am an education faculty across various educational institutions where I guide students also in their journey of branding. So that's in brief about me, Vanita.
That's awesome to begin with. I think we are more intrigued now to ask detailed questions about each of the aspects that you just mentioned. What inspired you to create Copila?
Oh, that's a very beautiful story. So I started my career here 24 years back now in Mumbai with very well-renowned and globally renowned agencies, Ogilvy. And I went, post that I was also working with Lintas, both the places I was working as a copywriter. My observation over there was that, there was a lot of conversation around ideas and concepts and design was really celebrated a lot, right? In fact, after my stint with these different agencies, I also freelanced for a while with various design studios, 360-degree studios, etc. And while the concept was ours,
Mhm.
right, the design was really celebrated. There were design awards, there were design studios, and
Yes.
design was really talked about, and it kept bringing the question back to me that what about the people from where it is getting conceived, right? What about the copy people? What about the ideators? What about the conceptualizers? And that's what I wanted to bring to the world. I wanted to create a copy specific company, a conceptualization first company, which is able to hold the flag together for copy. And we started 11 years back at a time when there were hardly any copy companies. Like, I just remember one at that time. And that too, it wasn't a proper copy company, but primarily an aggregator of copywriters, right? So ours was one of the earliest agencies which started in the space of copywriting. And it was primarily to just, give copy the voice that it deserved.
That's wonderful. I remember when as we grow up from being an infant to to what we become today, all kids want to become a doctor, and they will wear any rope, and because that's the first interaction they have with the world is with a doctor. Then you want
Yeah.
to become a teacher.
Yeah.
But when you come to teenage, everybody in my generation that I'm telling, we were all very interested and we wanted to work for Lintus. It was so famous that
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
going into journalism, marketing, mass communication,
Mm.
this used to be a kind of a
Yeah.
search we all had within us. So listening to your journey, I can resonate and relate to what you're telling. And but before you begin any project, how do you plan for that and where do you begin? What I mean, like, what are the design thinking principles that go into creating
Yes.
your project?
Yes. So, actually, even before we begin a project, or even, go even close to beginning a project, uh, there are two very critical steps that we take. First is, we call it curiosity,
Mhm.
right? And it has an entire process where we have many questions for the clients, and we really try to understand um, from a deeper perspective in terms of what their industry is like. What are
Mhm.
they here to do in this industry? What makes them unique? Why does their company exist as yet another, venture trying to make a difference in the field of work that they are in, right? So a lot of curiosity around trying to understand the whole landscape within which the client operates, the mindset with which the client operates, their various people, their founders, what are they thinking? A lot of questions are kind of crafted around that. From curiosity we move to what we like to call as empathy,
Mhm.
right, which is to really go down into the, so once we've understood the whole scenario and the whole landscape within which they work, we try to go deeper and really stand in the feet of in the shoes of these founders, really feel their challenges, that if this is not done, where do they then see themselves, versus if this is done, how far it can really take them, right? So
Yeah.
apart from just seeing something from a very top line understanding, really go down to the crux of the matter and try to see that, what is the larger emotional advantage or the larger impact advantage that, our intervention can make for them, right? And it's only when these two are very, very deeply, entered into the system, once we've really deeply understood and aligned with who they really are and why they are wanting to do this particular project, is when we actually start, beginning and, really starting the work. I do want to add that, in some clients, the process is more long-winded. In some clients, the process can be shorter, and that can also come from our own experiences and our own understanding of the sector, right? So with every client, really, we are adding to our bouquet of experiences and understanding and increasing our empathy quotient to be able to deliver better services.
Very beautifully said. Einstein used to say that knowledge is not important, imagination is. And that is
Yes,
what curiosity is about. And when
yes,
someone is curious, they're never going to stop learning and stop evolving. So
yes.
that part is beautiful. But in your opinion, which do you consider as a good brand with
Hmm,
their strategy and their values and ethics? I mean,
hmm,
globally, any brand you can take, even not
hmm,
necessarily the ones you've worked with.
hmm.
But which brand do you think stands out as the single most best brand in the world?
Right, absolutely. So I will share that, but before that, I want to share certain characteristics which I
Yeah.
feel a good brand has, right? So the one word that I like to use for a good brand is consistent. Okay, consistent at various with in various dimensions, right? The first dimension of consistency is it consistent with what you are out to do in the world, right?
Mm.
What is my mission in the world? What is my purpose? Why do I exist as a brand? And then is my branding reflecting that? Am I first consistent with the purpose itself? Is my communication consistent with my purpose itself? So that's like an
Right.
a connection and a consistency within the self, right?
Right.
Once that is achieved, does every single piece of communication reflect the same? Which is
Mhm.
to say that is every communication also consistent with each other? Right. So there
Absolutely.
is an internal consistency and then there is an external consistency. And that to me is the biggest promise, right? Every time a brand says the same thing over and over again,
Yes.
it gets more and more entrenched into the mind of the customer. And to me, that is a good brand, right?
That is good.
There is a very famous, everyone takes the example, but I can't help but take that example because it is such a strong brand and it's doing so much in today's world. In fact, I'll take two examples, both of whom are, beautiful case studies, and I very, very often repeat them in my sessions as well. First is Nike,
Mm.
right? Everybody talks about Nike, but there is a reason why they talk about it, right? The way they've built their stature, their entire branding conversation, and how they have built it on such a simple human emotion. I would like to share their mission, right? And I'll share with you the genius move in their mission and how they make it all inclusive and what makes it a good brand. So their mission is to bring inspiration and innovation to
Mm.
every athlete in the world, right? So far,
Yeah.
so good. right? Every athlete is inspired, every athlete feels great about being a part of the brand, right? And then they have a sentence, they after this sentence they put a hyphen, and then they continue their whole mission and say that if you have a body, then you're an athlete. Right. So,
Mm.
which is to say that you don't have to be a footballer to be an athlete. You don't have to be a gymnast to be an athlete. You all
Right.
you have to do, even you and me have the potential to be an athlete, right? And that's all about tapping your inner greatness and your inner glory, right? And that's what I feel, that because it tugs at such a strong emotional element, right?
True.
That makes a great brand. And then it consistently talks about the same thing in all their ads. You will Once you start noticing, you will realize that they have the same thread across,
Mm.
right? Another great example is Dove, right? Now, Dove pivoted from being that moisturizing cream to becoming a brand that stands for
Mm.
inclusive beauty, right?
Yeah.
And every woman is beautiful, and it's all about being real, it's all about being yourself. And here is an example when I say consistency, right? Now, if you are standing by the fact that, hey, you know what? I'm going
Mm.
to stand for real beauty, right? One beautiful example with which I can share that, this is how to be consistent is they have now taken out a new beauty pledge in the world of AI, right? So today in the world of AI, you have models who are fabricated using AI,
Right.
and these perfect looking women who are created from AI, right? And they have taken the pledge. It's called the beauty pledge,
Mhm.
where they have said that never use AI to portray our models. They will always be real women, right? I think it's a great way to be consistent
That
with
is
your
true.
promise. Yeah, if you have said that you stand by real women, you stand by it all through. It's not like if there is a new trend, which is AI, you suddenly change into that and then you come back to real women as well, right? And
That
it's not about faking it and putting out a fabricated image out there and then say real women, because then nobody will believe you,
Yes,
right? So
that's
that's the
true.
consistency
And
that I'm
two
talking about.
brands that I would also like to talk about
Yeah,
is wrong branding that I felt as a
yeah,
consumer is when Pepsi was growing, they wanted to finish off Coke. And
yeah,
there is a boy who takes the Coke cans and stands on it to buy Pepsi. That
mm,
was very, very
yeah,
unethical branding, and
yeah. It was not
I
needed.
never take any of the Pepsi products.
Yeah,
If I don't find Coke on the shelf, I don't
mm,
like the entrepreneur himself. I don't like the business because
yeah,
business is who I relate with. Is that is ethics for me. The
yeah,
second ad which I really admired was when the Benz CEO retired. BMW gave a beautiful ad. We are
oh.
going to be missing you, and just the BMW comes out. We have had some
Mm.
wonderful years, and we are going to you're going
Yes,
to be missed. So that's a competitor
yes,
that they don't want to kill the competition. I'm getting goosebumps telling this actually.
yes,
They didn't want to kill the competition. They wanted to respect your competition, and that for me is a good brand. And Coke, of
yes,
course, with very simple this thing strategy, they have lasted. And
yes.
the way of doing business, I like IKEA because they keep it
Mhm.
simple. Their R&D is good, and they are doing as much as they're consuming the wood. They are also creating a lot of forestry, which is good. I mean, like that is the actual carbon footprint that they're,
It's true.
carbon credit. That's a real carbon credit. Not that you get somebody to buy lands and while you create more and more carbon footprint, and that is an eye wash that's happening. So I go for brands that really walk the talk.
Yeah.
That
Tot
for me is very, very important. And let's come to supporting women. How do you?
yes,
Yes, I mean that's how we connected. And
yeah.
so, what is your? How do you think you can bring to the table to support women?
Yes. So, I believe that women today stand at a very crucial, pivotal point in the history of
Mm,
mankind, so to say, right? For the first time, women are really getting the opportunities at such a large scale,
yes,
right? More and more women are able to come to the fore, and right now the conversation is really hot.
mm,
So, it's a great time to be a woman. It's a great time to really put yourself out there and really, you know, um, give that wind to your wings and really fly high. That's
true.
the first thing. right? So
Yes.
if there is any business idea in your mind, right, today there are women communities, there are
Mm.
serious business communities, there are even conversational communities, there are support communities. A woman doesn't have to feel alone anymore in today's day and time. You just have to reach out, right? And there are so many more like you that you're going to find, that your journey is going to become so much more easier, right?
Yeah.
And the ecosystem has become so strong now
Mm.
that at least for a certain wherever the access is there. I don't mean to say that every single woman out there has the opportunity. With due respect, I know that there are many other stratas where the access still has to go, but even there has been an enhancement. More women are able to access better facilities today. So it's a great time. How I champion women's leadership really is, I'm a mentor across several women communities, having been, a woman professional for over 23 years, having run my own business for 11 plus years. I know what it takes, right, to really
Right.
reach, or to really, just go along every day, every
Mm.
year, just keep pulling and keep, creating opportunities for yourself, for
Okay.
others, and yet doing something meaningful in the world, right? And I believe the one way that I can really help women is by consistently mentoring them, because I have been there and I am
Mm.
still with them. It's not like I have reached,
Correct. Right.
some place, or I'm away from them. I'm very much in the same boat, and with each other and for each other, we can really do a lot. So through mentoring, I believe, and education, I believe women can get a lot of access to understanding and really shifting the way they are making their impact in the world. So yeah, that's one. And even in my company, we are majority women, right?
Mm.
And a lot of them are, women who are able to enjoy working in a good company with good clients,
Mm.
solid global clients,
Mm.
while being able to sit in a smaller town and while being able to take care of their aging parents, right?
Okay.
Just because a woman is a mother today, or
Mm.
is a daughter who has to look after her parents, it does not have to mean that she has to give up working for
Right.
aspirational brands, right? So
Correct.
in my company, that kind of, I'm able to bring that whole, scenario together, that you don't have to give up anything to be able to chase your dreams, really. So
That's
that's how
exactly the
I
kind of women we are wanting on the
yes,
global networking platform that we are trying
yes,
to integrate and launch. So
yes.
I think you just resonated, and I mean, like everything that you spoke was exactly the motive and philosophy behind what we do. And
Beautiful.
it has been initial start to even this Evara Voices was a bit choppy,
Yes.
in the sense that every time I used to ask someone, they used to decline kind of. But now today, women
Yes.
from across the world, from Russia, New Zealand, they are just so supportive actually. At one point, when I wanted to give up, one of our guests, Jelena, she said, "Giving up is not an option, Vanita. I'm coming."
Yes.
So that
Beautiful.
was so inspiring. And
Yes.
then you want to push your boundaries, and you want to keep moving forward to do this for yourself and for the women in the world. Because
Exactly.
one inspiration that we can put a seed outside can grow many women who are really seeking this. All they
Yes.
need is just support. That's all. And there are women who really come and cut you and take your business away also. That also happens. But this is
True.
all part of the game. This is
It
all part
is.
of the game. That's how it is. Now tell
Yes.
us a little bit about yourself, your
Uh,
passions, and
yes.
we spoke so much about your work. Now I want to know about Gunjan. Because Evara, it means God's gift. So we are now
How
talking about God's gift, which is Gunjan Pai.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yes.
Yes.
So, see, I'll be very honest. I'm a writer through and through,
Ah.
right? So whether I do it for work or I do it for my personal,
Mm.
hobby, even my hobby is also writing, right? So beyond writing professionally, I also write songs, and I also
Mm.
write
Wow.
poetry in
Ah,
Hindi and Urdu. I have an Instagram handle as well. So a lot
okay.
of writing is what I continue to do. A lot of reading, of course, comes as a part of it, because I write songs, music also is a part of it. So
Yes.
everything in my world pretty much, moves around writing. And even when I'm traveling, which of course a lot of us enjoy. You will find me, taking some inspiration from somewhere and going by a side and just writing something. So it's just, I am this through and through a writer, and all my passions also revolve around writing. Beyond that, I'm also an animal lover, and an animal caregiver in many ways, right? And around my society and across, I try to make a difference by bringing people together, and for forwarding some aid to all the needy animals out there. So that's
That's
another passion that's very close to
I
my
think
heart.
that part of caring for animals is increasing in India.
Yes.
But I think we have to be more responsible and careful for the people as well. So,
Oh yes.
there needs to be a coordinated, cooperated effort to make sure that the animals are not at risk with humans and humans
Yes.
are safe with animals
Vice
as well.
versa, 100%, of
Yeah,
course.
that is true, and I can really connect with you on the writing aspect,
Yes.
because now as you know that launching and going into publishing and all that, I'm
Mm.
waiting for your book to come out. So I just pray and hope it is going to be soon, whether in the form of lyrics, just lyrics or poetry, or
Yes.
it can be in anything,
Yes.
Urdu, English, Hindi, as you feel comfortable. Do you write Urdu poetry or? Uh,
Yes, I'm learning. It's not like I'm a very learned Urdu person. It's colloquial Urdu, and wherever I can learn and however I can weave it into my words,
So,
that's what I try to
that
do.
way you can connect with Rumi. I mean, he's one of my favorite poets.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, so that'll be
That's a
nice.
fan of him.
And
Yes.
and thank you so much for joining. It has been enlightening, and I think the time is very short. We might need another episode, I think, because there's so
Definitely.
much that you have to share, and like it'll help people who watch. Although this is
Yes.
growing very slowly, I'm sure it will be a platform for women, and they can connect easily. They can learn a lot, and
Yes.
even ideas can inspire them to go in that direction. Because
Yes.
advertising nowadays I see is not as considered very uh, as a top profession as it used to be in my times. We were crazy about that. Okay, because
Mm.
we used to go for movies and ads used to come, and we
So,
never wanted to miss the ads, whether
exactly.
it was Liril or Limca, whatever. But nowadays,
Yes.
that quality of content also is
Yes.
reduced. But
Yes.
we have social media advertising,
Correct.
influencer advertising, content marketing,
Yes.
all these things are changing. And
Yes.
couple of words on AI and how it is stealing our content.
Oh, that's a very strong subject and a
Yes,
very important subject to address. So, see, AI is both a boon and a bane. I'll
yes,
be very honest. But it depends on whose hands it's in. It's like a tool, right? If you use
yes,
it well, it's like a knife.
yes,
Whether what are you going to cut with it,
yes,
right? It will still cut, but you
yes.
have to know how to use it well,
Mhm,
right? If you overuse it, if you don't know how to use it, if you're just using it to make a shortcut, and if you're just using it to do something in a jiffy, it's not going to be the best way to utilize it, and ultimately you're going to lose your edge. But
mhm,
at the same time, if you know exactly how to use it, if you are knowledgeable enough, if you've spent enough time to see how you can make it your best ally, right? Where you yourself are also able to express yourself, and at the same time
right.
use AI to really fit into your systems, your requirement. It can really be a boon as well. So it's all in the hands of the user, really. But
We cannot do without it. Now it is like part of us, and how we connect, use, and also disconnect is like that will be our. I think it's not just up to a discretion. I wouldn't say that. It's a choice that we make consciously.
yeah,
So thank you so much for joining us, Gunjan. I hope to meet you in person soon. And I think we'll need one more episode as well, which we'll plan. Thank you so
yes,
much for
it will be a
joining.
pleasure, Vanessa.
It was a
Thank you so
pleasure
much for
having you
having me.
on this show, and we will meet again. Thank you and bye
Thank you
bye.
so much.
Thank
Thanks so
you and
much.
bye bye
Bye
from
bye.
Manita.
Bye bye.